Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video, I got something that I guarantee you guys are going to love, especially if you're a big Lakers fan. We're going to be talking about the Lakers 2022 new look roster. We're going to be previewing and reviewing it, and most importantly, talking about the perfect starting lineups and other lineups I believe they should examine with. One of the biggest questions right now is who are the Lakers going to start, especially at their center and shooting guard position. And in this video, we're going to be talking all about that. So if you're a Lakers fan and want to know more about this, you're going to love this video. Let's not waste time. Let's get into it. The biggest question for the Lakers going into next season is who's going to be their starting lineup, and simply what is the playbook Frank Vogel is going for. One thing's for sure though, with the newly added additions to the team, I do believe the Lakers roster looks very good. They have a lot of depth and a lot of all-around aspects. And now it's just simply Frank Vogel bringing them together. Going into the offseason, the Lakers only had 5 players on their roster. After the big Russell Westbrook trade, they had Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Marc Gasol, and Alfonso McKinnie. But after a few days into free agency, the Lakers made so many moves, they signed so many NBA free agents to the veterans minimum contract, and they currently have a roster of 12 players. That's a pretty deep rotation. For this video, I'm going to be talking about six lineups that I believe the Lakers will be exploring and also trying to execute during next season. When talking about the Lakers starters, as of right now, there has been no official word about what Frank Vogel will do. For this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 scenarios, 3 possible starting lineups that I believe would make sense, and of course I believe it's going to be very realistic for the Lakers. One thing's for sure though, I do believe Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis are going to be locked in as starters, so all 3 of these players are going to be in every single lineup. The first scenario is actually the most popular right now, and that's talking about Russell Westbrook point guard, Wayne Ellington shooting guard, LeBron James small forward, Anthony Davis power forward, and Marc Gasol at center. This right now is the most likely projected starting lineup. Of course, the key factors to this lineup is Wayne Ellington at shooting guard and Marc Gasol at center, but the reason why this is highly likely is because both of these players are known to be great floor spacers and also three-point shooters. With Russell Westbrook and LeBron James not being known to be consistent three-point shooters, surrounding them with floor spacers and players to take tough shots, and simply play a role in a catch-and-shoot position, I believe the Lakers need that, especially if they lost Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. The reason why Wayne is going over players like Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn, and even Trevor Ariza is because of his experience, and especially last year playing for the Pistons, Ellington scored a career high of 44% behind the three-point line. That is very consistent, and the Lakers will love that as a KCP replacement. I do believe Marc Gasol starting there is just going to be the same thing as last year. He's going to start at center and might not even close out games. It just makes sense to use his size, experience during the beginning of the game. This right here is a highly projected lineup, and honestly, it's the most likely as we speak, unless they sign another crazy free agent that tops off Wayne Ellington. The next lineup is actually a Laker fan favorite, and it's a popular one, and that's Russell Westbrook point guard, Talen Horton-Tucker at shooting guard instead of Wayne, LeBron James of course, Anthony Davis, and Marc Gasol. In this lineup, the key factor is replacing Wayne Ellington with THT, their young future shooting guard. When talking about this offseason, the Lakers signed THT to a 3-year contract extension, which means he is going to be a part of their future, and maybe a part of their future means they're going to start him next year. THT is very young, he's improving season after season, and honestly last year, he's showing the NBA his true value. And maybe having THT in their starting lineup could put more pressure on him, but also make him grow. All of the Lakers' other starters have a lot of experience, so if Rob Pelinka and Frank Vogel are focusing on development, maybe putting THT in the starting lineup where he can simply be an X factor wouldn't be a bad idea. If THT can knock down threes more consistently, I do believe this would be a perfect fit. Laker fans want this lineup. I wouldn't mind this lineup, but I do believe scenario 1 makes more sense. And the third starting lineup that we're hearing is something very popular when it comes to a small ball lineup and Anthony Davis shifting to the center position. It's Westbrook point guard, Trevor Ariza shooting guard, LeBron James small forward, and Carmelo Anthony at power forward, and of course AD at the center. From what we heard, when the Lakers got Russell Westbrook, this is something they're planning on doing. A lot of Lakers analysts are saying that a big reason why they failed last year was because Anthony Davis was not solid and great at the power forward position, but maybe pushing him to play the center position where he has to be more of a big factor, especially defensively, maybe that will get Anthony Davis locked in to go back to his MVP form. Of course, a big part of this lineup is the veteran experience. All players on this team is over 32 years old. Of course, the best part of this lineup is talking about the individual players and how each of these players can contribute at a high level. Westbrook is a playmaker, Ariza is a 3-and-D presence, Carmelo is a go-to scorer, LeBron James is an all-around monster, and AD can simply be their defensive anchor. This lineup is very popular as well if they're gonna push AD to play the center position. From what we do know though, AD hates playing center, he loves the power forward position and loves to space the floor, so this is highly unlikely because of AD not wanting to play the center to start off the game. But this simply concludes my starting lineup predictions. I do believe scenario 1 is the most likely scenario as of right now with their roster. The next lineup on this video is talking about the Lakers' 3-point sharp shooting lineup, the lineup they're going to go towards if they simply want a 3-point shot. It's LeBron James point guard, Wayne Ellington shooting guard, Trevor Ariza small forward, Carmelo Anthony power forward, and Anthony Davis at center. This is an elite 3-point shooting lineup, a lot of floor spacing. Of course, if LeBron James wants to rest, Russell Westbrook could simply come in for LeBron James as long as there's one playmaker and simply every single player around the perimeter to be a focal point at the 3-point shot. These are the best 3-point shooters on the Lakers as we speak when it comes to each position and a player executing it when it matters the most. The next lineup on this list is talking about the Lakers' defensive lineup. Their one-stop lineup, they need a stop. They need a block, they need a steal. This is the lineup. It's Westbrook point guard, Trevor Ariza shooting guard, LeBron James, Anthony Davis power forward, and Dwight Howard at the center position. The Lakers this year signed Dwight Howard to a 1-year veterans minimum. Dwight Howard was a big part of their championship run 2 years ago, and I simply love how him coming back is going to be a big factor to their defensive lineup. His size, his mobility, and simply his shot blocking is going to scare NBA teams, and their interior defense could be awesome. Of course, with Russell Westbrook and Trevor Ariza, these guys are great perimeter defenders. This, in my opinion, is the best defensive lineup for the Lakers, and with the Lakers being known to be a defensive team, we're going to see a lot of this lineup. And the last lineup on this list is talking about my favorite lineup, and that's talking about their death/closing lineup. This is the ultimate lineup they're going to put on the floor if they need everything. Offense, defense, all around, this is their death lineup. It's going to be Russell Westbrook point guard, LeBron James shooting guard. That sounds kind of weird, but of course because Carmelo Anthony is small forward, Anthony Davis power forward, and of course Dwight Howard. This is the craziest lineup I would love to see on the same floor together. Guys, all of these names were big names in 2014. Imagine in 2014 that you were going to say 7 years later, these 5 players would be on the exact same NBA team. In their prime, they will be disgusting. Despite not all of these players being in their prime right now, I still believe what they bring to the table is elite. They're going to be an unstoppable offensive force and simply bring in a defensive factor as well if needed. What do you guys think about this death lineup? Can anybody stop this? So yes guys, this wraps up my video for today, talking about the Lakers and their upcoming future lineups. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. Which of these lineups do you believe is your favorite? Who is going to be the starters for the Lakers? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!